We mentioned the fact that there are a lot of fights coming up. There is a fight card this weekend. Very awesome fight card, by the way. It's on free TV, so you have no excuse. College football is very close, but it's not competitive this weekend, so you literally have no excuse to not watch this card on Fox, 8 p.m. Eastern start time. It's in our wheelhouse. This is – just take a listen to this Fox. Joe Lozon, Jim Miller. That will be a brawl to start off the night.
We said the same thing, though, with Diego Sanchez and Joe Lozon, and Lozon killed us.
Yeah, so hopefully he comes back from that one. The return of 12-gauge Paige VanZant from her Dancing with the Stars time off and her recuperation from the beatdown that she endured from Rose Namajunas. Tough as nails, Paige VanZant, but she got outclassed by somebody who was better than her. Yeah. She's young. She's talented. And going against Beck Rawlings, who's got some power in her, this is VanZant's time to get back in the winning streak. And this is Rawlings can claim a big major name on network television. That fight's exciting. This is an intriguing one. Anthony Pettis, Charles Oliveira. Oliveira is the 6th-ranked featherweight. He's missed weight a couple times already. Pettis, the former lightweight champion, dropping down to 145. What are you expecting out of this fight, Sean? Because Anthony Pettis, he's not looked good the last 3 times out. He's looked gun-shy. He's looked like he's had the yips. Does this move to featherweight benefit him, do you think?
I think when you're sliding like he was, I think a change could be good. And we will see if it happens. I mean, you got to try to switch something up. And, I mean, but you know what, man? The fight game is so weird. It really is.
It's
a guy
cruel.
can look so great and then on a turn look so bad, but then it goes the other way just as quickly.
It's easy to blame this on somebody. Just blame it on CM Punk. Because ever since he joined that Duke Rufus's gym, Pettis has had trouble.
Too many people focusing on Punk.
Yeah, but Pettis. This is the move I think for him. Losing to Dos Anjos, losing to Eddie Alvarez, and he just got like shut down completely for a guy whose name is Showtime. He couldn't throw anything. And then that Edson Barbosa fight, which clear domination by Barbosa. I think this is the move because featherweight, after you go through the first couple guys at the top, there's room to maneuver there. And that's why you see somebody like Oliveira, who's a very dangerous Brazilian jiu-jitsu fighter, ranked number 6, even despite the fact that he's missed weight multiple times at 145. He's a very fun fighter to watch. I think this is a good matchup for Pettis, and if he can't win this one, there's a big underlying problem. I think this is set up for Pettis to succeed. Will he do it? I think so, but we'll have to wait and find out. And the main event this week is this is an amazing matchup, and I want to get your thoughts on this because I'll be doing a breakdown for it. By the time this podcast is up, you will probably see a TFM breakdown of Carlos Condit and Demian Maia, the number 3 and number 4 ranked welterweights in the world, the natural-born killer against probably the best Brazilian jiu-jitsu artist in the UFC. How do you see this fight playing out? Because it's a complete clash of styles. It's old school striker versus ground game. What do you see here? While Sean is taking care of that, I'm going to tell you what I think is going to happen in this fight. Carlos Condit, he's such a different kind of animal when you have to deal with strikers. He's the kind of guy that when he throws a knee, you're expecting a punch. When you're expecting a kick to the leg, he throws a hook. Condit's got such a diverse striking skill set. He can do a whole bunch of different things that you don't expect. He's stopped 28. Well, he's won 30 fights. He's stopped 28 of those fighters in those wins. So he's a high volume striker, but he's got a rare type of power. He acts as a bully almost in the octagon, always pressuring, sticking, moving, collapsing on people. What I would recommend to anybody who's very interested in the fight game, watch back on the UFC's YouTube channel, Carlos Condit versus Rory McDonald, because you see Condit get hit and deal with the impacts and deal with the different things that are going to happen to him, and he ends up winning that bout against a very game Rory McDonald. And now you see Condit, who's gone through that tough loss in January to Robbie Lawler, where I personally thought he won the fight. It was a razor-thin decision against Lawler, and he contemplated retirement after. He didn't know how to feel about the fight. But now he's kind of back in the swing of things. He's got the two best coaches, Greg Jackson, Mike Winkeljohn, and he's built for success in the long term, just the way he kind of protects himself. He sticks and moves. He's got incredible movement and feints that he can kind of go in and out of moves with. And he's got to be able to do that in this fight against Demian Maia. Stick and move is the option. He's got to be able to throw these unorthodox kicks, throw these weird punches that come out of nowhere, these elbows, those front kicks, because Maia is the absolute best on the ground in the UFC. You watch Demian Maia fight, it's a clinic in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He's a 4th-degree black belt in the martial arts discipline. And this is a guy who's been outspoken. His literal quote on his UFC profile is, "My favorite technique is to submit my opponent without him hurting me or me hurting him." This is a game to Maia that he has to win. He avoids the strikes. He moves in and out. He likes to do all these different things. And you never know what you're going to get when he comes after you. He's won 5 fights in a row, most notably these past 3 fights against Neil Magny with a second-round submission, against Gunnar Nelson, where Gunnar Nelson, who's an up-and-comer in the welterweight class, had 2 strikes. Just 2 the entire fight, 3-round fight. It's absolutely insane what he can do on the ground. He can turn you into a pretzel. He can manipulate you and do all these different things. He knows what to do at every point during the fight when it gets to the ground. The takedowns are great, and then once he gets you on the ground, he's consistently advancing. He's consistently moving. And Sean, I want to get your opinion on this. With Demian Maia, how does Carlos Condit stay out of the spider's trap, essentially? How does he avoid doing that?
I mean, I think you said it. He's going to have to do a lot of the stick and move, as he said. I mean, that's what it's going to have to be. You're going to have to be – and I think he's game for that. You know, but Maia just always seems to make it happen.
He's so dangerous because – watching
he makes it look easy too, by the way. I'm not going to – I mean –
it's smooth.
He's just smooth. It's just like, okay, you're going to go that way? Okay, then I'll just move my leg over here. Oh, now you go. Okay, my arm goes here. And now guess what? You're like a pretzel.
Yeah, it's a game. It's like you're slowly advancing and you're going through these different steps.
You think you're getting out, but he's just setting you up. I mean, it's like
a pop-up book of how to do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. What he did, the UFC free fight for him is Maia's story. Mm-hmm. And guess what he did to Rick Story? He turned him into a pretzel, advanced slowly on him, and tapped him out and cranked that neck so hard that blood started dripping out of Rick Story's nose.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the other thing is he doesn't really have to get that set. I mean, he's beating guys where it's not really locked in. He just squeezes, man.
It's frightening for a guy who's so peaceful, which is great. He can do these things on the ground that you're always watching going, oh, my God. Oh, he just moved. Oh, he just advanced to that position. Oh, he's got the arm around the neck. Oh, he's done. It's toast. His last fight against Matt Brown, not the greatest night for Matt Brown, of course, fighting with the crowd. And Maia, this clearly played into that. This is why I'm very worried if I'm Carlos Condit. I've been working on my takedown defense nonstop because once you end up on the ground, you're toast, man. And Condit's takedown defense, I've heard it be described as suspect. I think it's okay. I think it's decent. On the ground, he's great on top. On the bottom and in half guard, he tries to get to these more advantageous positions, and he's not the best at it. But I love the way he can kind of just bring it from all angles with these strikes. And I think if he does it long enough, I think he can beat Maia. But the problem is, and I looked this up, Maia's only been knocked out once in his UFC career. Just once. And that's really hard to do against a guy who, if he can take these beatings and go and take his time, it's a 5-round fight. He has got 5 rounds to submit Carlos Condit. And I want to get your take. Who do you think wins this fight?
See, why do I always have to go first? I mean, this is the stuff here that you
because I asked the questions.
I know.
And I went on the long soliloquy.
Yeah, you did. I apologize for that.
No,
that was
an
odd occurrence here.
I did my best Mike Francesa impression.
You did fantastic.
But you want me to go first?
No. It's not going to change my pick. I'm going Demian Maia.
See, I'm going Carlos Condit, and this is why I keep losing the TFM live fight.
But see, this is the first time I've really gone against the striker.
Yeah,
usually I go with the striker just because one punch and it's over. But Maia to me is just so impressive,
so smooth
that I can't go against him until somebody knocks him out.
It's a pick'em fight. To me,
it really is. I mean,
it should be even money on the odds. I haven't checked them, but it's so fun that this is a matchup. This is actually happening because a couple months ago we thought Condit was retiring, and that made me sad because watching Condit fight is one of the most intellectual, analytical striking games that you can find because he throws all these different things. You don't know what's coming next, and Maia's the polar opposite. Copy on the ground because he can do all these different things. It's the perfect ground versus strike matchup, and I think Condit wins. I think Condit knocks him out in the 4th because I think Maia has not faced a guy who can deliver that kind of punishment since Rory McDonald and Jake Shields back in 2014 and 2013. Just to me, I think Condit is a level of striker that Maia will not be able to handle. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah, but if the striker can never get to striking, then what?
That's the blueprint for Demian Maia. That's why this fight is so fun. And if you're not watching this fight, what are you doing on Saturday night? I really would like to know because it makes no sense. Because this is going to be so fun to watch, and I cannot wait for it. What are you going to do? Watch preseason football? Come on, the games don't matter. You cannot take anything away from preseason football. Take it from somebody who's worked in the league. You can only take so much away from those games. Watch this fight on Saturday night. It's going to be fantastic down in Vancouver, British Columbia.